a land already known to the ancient Greeks with the name of Trinacria, a journey through the most evocative landscapes of the largest island in the Mediterranean, while camping from golden beaches and crystalline sea to the slopes of the highest active volcano in Europe. This is Sicily Overland.
Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, this is Amos Adventures. I travel with my dogs on a Jeep Wrangler. And I'm here today on my winter trip to Sicily. And I will spend here more or less 10 days and I will have a complete tour of the island, which is something extremely beautiful, especially in this period. We are in December, but I don't want to talk too much right now. I prefer to show you the beauty of this island through my images. So stay with me and follow the video.
And here I am, on my very first awakening of this trip on Sicilian land. I arrived at the port of Palermo the previous evening, when the sun has already set, after a long ferry crossing from Genova. So I begin my tour of the island, driving for a few dozen kilometers west, until I find what it seems to be a quiet place to spend the first night. But you know, when you get in a place and set up camp in the dark, you don't really realize where you have ended up exactly. And this is perhaps one of the aspects I love the most about overland life. That is the fact of discovering where you really are only when you wake up. Of course, there is also the risk of having ended up in a bad place, but I must say that for now, every time it happened to me to arrive in a place in the dark, when I woke up, I've always had pleasant surprises, as in fact in this case. Even though I'm not very far from the city of Palermo, I find myself on a very beautiful naturalistic beach, only a bit ruined by the presence of some waste, brought by the sea or just abandoned by uncivilized people, which is unfortunately still quite common on the island. So my day begins enjoying a good espresso, lulled by the sweet sound of the waves and warmed by the first rays of sun of this late December day. Rediscovering little by little the value of time. Time for myself to spend with my dogs. The pleasure of having no timetables to respect, or being able to simply do what I want, just like a relaxing morning walk to discover the surrounding area. The same day, I resumed my tour of Sicily, continuing west along the northern coast, thus reaching my next destination. We are near San Vito lo Capo, on the peninsula of the same name, in an area rich in natural resources with the Gulf of Macari to the west and the Zingaro Reserve to the east. The beach and the crystal clear sea, the nature reserves, the caves, the seabed, the proximity to Trapani and the Egadi Islands make San Vito lo Capo a pearl set between the blue of the Mediterranean Sea and the majestic Sicilian mountains. Its history has its roots in the Paleolithic era, with evidence of ancient settlements in the caves overlooking the sea. My base camp for the next hours will be the natural beauty of a beach enhanced by its geographical position, the surrounding cliffs of San Vito lo Capo. In fact, the beach is located at the foot of the cliffs, a promontory of dolomitic rocks that creates a suggestive and picturesque environment.
off. Home point updated.
So, after a short reconnaissance walk, I identified the best place to set up camp, just in time to raise the drone for immortalizing the last moments of a suggestive sunset, greeting the sun setting behind the Egadi Islands. Second day on the road, time for a shower. And this will be my first ever hot shower on the road. Yes, I can finally say goodbye to cold showers, which may be fine in summer, but definitely not when traveling in other seasons, especially winter. And this thanks to my new portable instant water heater. The operation is quite simple. I just have to connect the water inlet coming from my water tank and the gas inlet from my cylinder with a quick connect hose, and the heater does the rest. It does not require electricity, working with an internal battery, and when the shower is open, the water is instantly heated and comes out hot after just a few seconds. What a pleasure! take advantage of the hot water also to rinse out yesterday's dishes. Just time to enjoy this place for a few more moments, to pack up the jeep, and I'm ready to leave again towards today's destination. Located in the westernmost part of Sicily, between the cities of Marsala and Trapani, inside the Stagnone Islands Nature Reserve, we find the characteristic salt pans of Marsala. I continue my tour of Sicily counterclockwise, going down the southern coast. Having arrived late the previous evening, I camped for the night right next to our natural reserve, and upon awakening, I discovered the beauty of this territory. Crossing an old abandoned railway, I access the natural area that leads to a long golden beach, where we enjoy a pleasant walk in the warmth of this late December sun. In the early afternoon, I get a little further south, in another nature reserve, the one at the mouth of Platani River, where I decide to stop for lunch and enjoy the first arancini of this holiday. The arancino is a traditional specialty of Sicilian cuisine. It's a bowl or a cone of breaded and fried rice, generally stuffed with ragu and peas, or cooked ham and mozzarella. The name comes from the original shape and the typical golden color, which resemble an orange, arancia in Italian. The origins of the arancino are much debated. Since it is a popular product, it is difficult to find a reference of any kind on historical sources that can clarify exactly what the origins are. But the fact remains, they are delicious. Try it to believe it. Foce del Fiume Platani Natural Reserve is a protected natural area of about 200 hectares that intersects the mouth of the Platani River in the territory of Agrigento. The oasis borders the promontory of Capo Bianco, home to the ancient Greek city of Heraclea. And here I am, at the last stop of the day, the famous Scala dei Turchi. It's a white marl cliff that juts out into the sea along the coast of Rialmonte in the Agrigento area. The name derives from past pirate raids by Saracens, Arabs, and by convention Turks. In fact, Turkish pirates found shelter in this area, less affected by the winds and representing a safer landing place. here I am, last sunset, last view, and last camp of 2024. But as you can see, I'm not alone today. By a series of coincidences, fate has it that my path has crossed with the one of Ibrahim, a Turkish overlander based in London, who is on a spectacular solo trip between Europe and Africa, and he's currently in Sicily. We didn't know each other before, but some mutual friends on social networks pointed out our respective profiles, telling us that we were both in Sicily. And so, it was that I, in my anti-clockwise tour, and Ibrahim on his clockwise tour, crossed paths and decided to spend New Year's Eve together, camping in this breathtaking place, suspended between land and sea, not far from the city of Agrigento. The evening passes nicely over cocktails and glasses of good Sicilian wine, sharing our respective experiences about our past trips, about places where we have been, about our cultures and those of the countries we have visited.
This is not for you, it's for me.
And since Ibrahim also travels in a Jeep Wrangler, there is no shortage of opportunity to discuss about the outfittings of our Wranglers, including mechanical modifications and camping equipment.
Thank you, chef. Chin chin.
Chin chin, enjoy.
Thank you.
I spent January 1st relaxing, still in the spot from the day before, near the cliff, and I set off again in the afternoon towards the southernmost tip of the island, near the town of Pachino, where I arrived late in the evening. Fortunately, the weather is still sunny and the climate mild. I wake up on a beach not far from the town, but still quite secluded. And I prepare a good breakfast based on coffee and panettone with pistachio cream. Even if, in my mind, I'm already thinking about the next destination, a spot on the sea with a breathtaking view of Mount Etna. I'm on the eastern coast of the island in a priceless spot that is worth much more than any five-star hotel. We are at sunset, and I set up camp close to the sea with the majesty of the highest volcano in Europe just in front of me, and at its feet the city of Catania, which is about to turn on the first lights.
Vai, Amy.
After dinner, the temperatures start to drop, and being on the sea, a fair amount of humidity also starts to be felt. So I decide to test my new AutoCap awning sidewalls to create a shelter space where I can spend a few more hours before going to sleep. The assembly, although quite simple, is certainly not as quick as opening the awning itself, and it requires a bit of attention and patience. But the result is a space of decent size, almost completely closed, that allows me to live a few more hours outside, sheltered from the humidity and sea breeze. This morning I take it easy and decide to have breakfast in bed with a good espresso, which I enjoy in the warmth of the first rays of sunshine on this early January day, still unaware of the adventure that awaits me. Yes, because I will be camping at over 1,500 meters above sea level, right on the slopes of the volcano that I now have in front of me. I still can't believe it. After spending 7 days on the coast, I finally arrive on the volcano. And the scenery that opens up before my eyes here is truly suggestive. Etna, symbol of Sicily, visited in winter with the contrast between the black of the lava and the white of the snow, is something both unusual and fascinating. Mount Etna is an active stratovolcano located above the convergent plate margin between the African plate and the Eurasian plate. It is one of the tallest active volcanoes in Europe and the tallest peak in Italy south of the Alps, with a current height, September 2024, of 3,403 meters. Though this varies with summit eruptions. For instance, in 2021, the southeastern crater reached a height of 3,357 meters, but was then surpassed by the crater of summer 2024 eruptions. Moreover, it is one of the world's most active volcanoes, being in an almost constant state of activity. And since 2013, it was added to the list of UNESCO World Heritage Sites. After spending the day on a pleasant trekking, I'm on my way back when I notice a dirt road that deviates from the main road and enters the fairy tale woods of this mountain. And you can imagine that I have no hesitation in taking it, even though I don't know where it leads. It's late afternoon and the sunlight is about to run out. I have no time to go back down the valley, and I don't even have a mobile network to look for an alternative on the maps. I absolutely have to find a place to camp here on the volcano before it gets dark. And so it is that after a few kilometers on this unknown track, between snow and lava soil, I find the perfect spot, completely immersed in the nature of this enchanted forest. We are at about 1,500 meters above sea level, and although we are in Sicily, it is still January, and after sunset the temperatures begin to drop dramatically. There's absolutely need to light a fire, but fortunately there seems to be no shortage of wood. So I spent the night here, on the slopes of the volcano, several kilometers from the nearest village, isolated from the rest of the world. It's just me, my dogs, and the uncontaminated nature of the volcano. There is a place of great charm and charisma, where the rare presence of plants and trees seems like a mirage. There are no flowering meadows or shrubs that rise towards the sky here, but furrows in the ground that stretch, multiply and branch out, creating lunar panorama. An almost unreal landscape that seems to have come out of a science fiction movie. Yet it really exists, and it's located in Sicily. A unique scenario that, thanks to its rugged and uncontaminated beauty, has fascinated travelers, photographers and directors from all over the world. It is no coincidence that over the years, this place has been chosen as a set for various films and advertising productions, helping to make its name famous. Sculpted cliffs and intricate rock formations, paths that wind through a labyrinth of valleys, priceless panoramic views of the surrounding countryside, and Mount Etna that dominates the landscape. Here you are, the Sicilian Desert.
All right, guys, that's it. Here we are. It's my last day in Sicily. I'm gonna take the ferry in a couple of hours. If you have been watching the video till now, thank you very much. Our trip to Sicily is over. This is the last day. I tried to make my best to show you the beauty of this fantastic island, to take you with me around Sicily. It was a 10 days trip, not too much, but still quite enough to have almost the complete tour of the island. And in these 10 days, I've been traveling from the sea up to 3,000 meters above sea level on the Etna volcano, which was an amazing experience. And you still can see it just behind me. It's a presence here in Sicily. The Etna is incredible. It surrounds the complete island and it's seeable from many places. Like here, I'm quite far away from it, but it's still quite very good visible just behind me. I was lucky. I found a very good weather from the mountain to the sea. So I enjoyed my staying here very well. The temperature were all right. At daytime it was perfect, and at nighttime for sure temperatures were lower, sometimes a little bit humid, but I could manage it very well. And I have to say there are a couple of things that were really a game changer to me for this trip. The first thing is for sure hot water. It is really a game changer, especially when you are traveling in wintertime like I am. The possibility of having a warm shower at night or at morning whenever you want is such a good thing. With my new water heating system, I had absolutely no issues. I was even able to shower on the volcano at almost 0 degrees Celsius. And the second one is by far the new internal setup that Tailgate Gear just made for my Jeep before this trip. It consists of some modules with drawers, fridge, slide, and tailgate table. It is really a game changer because finally I found the right way to keep all my belongings well organized and stored inside my Jeep. You know, guys, I have on the back a cage, a kennel for my dogs, so I cannot install a standard modules on the rear of my cars. I had to put something laterally at the places of the back seats, and this is much better than before when I had like random boxes or random bags just here in the back, and it was so hard to find things. I had to move everything before I could find what I was looking for, while now with the system there's a place for everything and everything is in place. So from Amos Adventures, from Sicily, from the volcano behind me, which is still smoking, it's all. Thank you very much for watching the video till now. It's really appreciated. Thank you so much for all the support you guys are giving me, are giving to the channel, and I'll see you guys to the next adventure.